Test, test, test. Good morning. And welcome to All Souls on this lovely, so warm, sort of, compared to a month ago, Sunday in Sioux Falls. It's so good to see everyone here, and we are so pleased, so grateful that you've chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us here. Today we have a talk, a message from Lila Radicheva, who is from the Natural Grocers, and she'll talk to us about the food system. So, All Souls, we've been a voice of reason and liberal religion in Sioux Falls since 1870s, off and on. Everyone who comes is welcome here, regardless of what your religious background is. You are welcome here, regardless of who you are or who you love or how you think. You are welcome here. We have an open mind, and we take everyone's views as they choose to present them. There's a statement in the order of service. We value freedom of expression and belief, and it's at the bottom of the announcement section. So, announcements. We have a couple. The first announcement is that this is our pledge drive period. A large number of you have received your pledge forms. I gave them to you last week. If you didn't get it last week, it'll be coming in the mail to you probably by Wednesday or Thursday. We hope you'll fill the pledge out. One or two people have said that they wish they could pledge more, they wish they could pledge, be more generous. That's not important. What we want is we want you to give what you think is the right amount. It could be large or it could be small. Everyone who is a member does need to pledge, because that's how we keep track of the membership, and people are allowed to vote. Are there any other announcements?
So at 11 o'clock today, even though it sort of conflicts with what we're doing here, some people might want to know that in view of the recent legislation, the so-called bathroom bill that was signed by the governor, there is a rally over at Van Epps Park in support of the trans community from 11 till 12. And that's 300 North Minnesota Avenue.
I see no one else seems to be coming up for an announcement. So at this point, Carol, would you take it away? And to light our chalice, I will read the reading number 458. Mindful of truth ever exceeding our knowledge, in community ever exceeding our practice, reverently we covenant together. Beginning with ourselves as we are, to share in the strength of integrity and the heritage of the Spirit, in the unending quest for wisdom and love. And that is by Walter Royal Jones. Now we will have our first song, which is number 359. We're going to do this as a round. 389. 389. Good thing somebody's paying attention. And Joy, would you like to come up? Joy will lead us in one part, and I will lead us in the other. We'll do it 5 times, once everyone together. And then after the first time, Joy will start that side on the first one, and I will start this side where number 2, when they get to number 2. So please stand as you are willing and able.
So let me clarify, we're going to sing it once together, then my side's going to start, and we're going to sing it twice.
No, we'll sing it 4 times.
4 times after we've done it once together?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me 4 times again. Together, first, second, and then together again?
No, just 4 times in the round phase. Just follow my lead. I like singing rounds. I hope you do too. It's fun, challenges you a little bit, but it's good to be challenged. If we only do things that we're comfortable with, we'll never grow. Now, the first reading is number 515. Number 515. And if I can find it, I can do it. Okay, so We will do number 515. It's a responsive reading. I'll ask you to do the regular text, and I will respond with the italic. So you can begin with For the Sun. For the moon and the evening which we did not make. For friends and loved ones we have not earned and cannot buy. For all our free churches that keep us human and encourage us in our quest for beauty, truth, and love. Gifts of life and love and friendship, we lift of our heart in thanks for this day. That is by Robert M. Fuchs. Okay, now we have come to the point where I read a story. And I would invite anyone, especially younger persons, to come up and join me here in the front. Test, test. Am I on?
Yep, you were. It's not strong as that.
10, 10. Test, test? Yeah, I'm on. Okay, great. Okay. This is a good audience, and I thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me. You want to come a little bit closer? Okay. This is a story called The Proud Little Apple Blossom. It's by a man named Hans Christian Andersen, who lived in Denmark almost 200 years ago and wrote many, many, many stories, which everyone knows about today. He's the man who wrote The Little Mermaid and many other stories. This story is called The Proud Little Apple Blossom. So here's our first picture. That's a robin. That's right. And those are apple blossoms. It's a robin in an apple blossom tree. Very soon, not quite yet, we will have blossoms on our trees. Yes. It was the month of May, but the wind still blew cool, for the sun was not yet ready to shed its warmest rays on the waiting earth. Yet some of the birds had come, and more were on the way, and many beautiful blossoms were already showing their pink and white blooms, so that from bush and tree, field and flower, came the glad cry, "Spring is here! Spring is here!" Can you guys say spring is here?
Spring is here.
Spring is here. Thank you. Here's a picture now, the next picture. It's a picture of a horse and a girl with some apple blossoms. Yeah, there's a horse. You guys like horses?
I never rode one.
You've never rode one. Well, you've got time to do that. Maybe in the next couple of times. Now it so happened that a young princess rode by the beautiful orchard in full bloom, and she stopped to pick a flower from the branch of apple blossoms to take to her palace. All who saw the apple blossom flower praised its beauty and fragrance. What is fragrance? You guys know what fragrance is? Fragrance is when you go up to a flower and you smell, that's the fragrance. It's the perfume that comes from the blossom. In what? The scent, yes, that's right. It's another word for scent, yeah. Till the blossom became proud and thought that beauty was the only valuable thing in the world. Here's another picture. What do you guys think those are? Dandelions, that's right. But as the apple blossom plant looked out on the field, she thought, not all of the plants are as rich and beautiful as I am. Some seem so plain and poor. And she noticed a little common yellow flower which seemed to lift up its sunny head and grow everywhere. So here we have the little yellow flower that's lifting up its head. The apple blossom said to the plain little flower, "What is your name?" The flower said, "I am called the dandelion." "Poor little plant," said the apple blossom, "it is not your fault, but how sad you must feel to be so plain and to bear such an ugly name." Goodness. Someone has a very bad attitude, very haughty, don't they? Here's the next picture. It's a dandelion. Now, the dandelions only stay yellow for a little while. Then what happens? You can blow them away. That's right. Yes. Yes, that's right. Before the little plant could reply, a lovely little sunbeam came dancing along and said, "I see no ugly flowers. They are all beautiful, alike to me." And he kissed the apple blossom, but he stooped low and lingered long to kiss the little yellow dandelion in the field. And then some children came tripping on the field. The youngest laughed when they saw the dandelions and kissed them with delight. The older children made wreaths and daisy chains from them. They picked carefully those that had gone to seed and tried to blow the feathery dawn away with one breath, making wishes. "Do you see," said the sunbeam, "the beauty of the dandelion?" "Only to children are they beautiful," said the proud apple blossom. That may be a grandma, yeah. She's probably as old as 52. Yeah, I'm in my 70s too. Oh, but you're not in your 70s, are you? No, no. Okay, there you go. That's probably true. By and by, an old woman came into the field. She gathered the roots of the dandelions, out of which she made tea for the sick, and she sold others for money to buy milk for the children. "But beauty is still better than all this," said the proud little apple blossom. Just then the princess came along. In her hand she carried something that seemed like a beautiful flower. She covered it carefully from the wind. What do you think it was? She was carrying a dandelion in her hand. "See," she said, "how beautiful it is. I will paint it in a picture with the apple blossoms." Then the sunbeam kissed the apple blossom, and as he stooped low to kiss the dandelion, the apple blossom blushed pink with shame. So, not everything in the world is because you are pretty. People have different qualities. We all bring our own blessing to this world, and we should value the contributions of everyone. Thank you so much for listening to me and coming up. And now we can sing the children out. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. In our church, we have a custom of listening and bearing our joys and our sorrows. When we do that, we pick a stone, we warm it briefly in our hand, place it in the bowl of water, and let the ripples carry it out to the wider world. So I will begin by saying that Joy and I have been going to an exercise class, and it's made me feel stronger and better, and I can now stand up from a chair without embarrassing myself in a very important way. So if you have something to say, please come up, say it briefly, and share it with us.
Hi, I'm Steve. As some of you, a lot of you know, my friend Karen, who I've been friends with since I was 8, has been battling pancreatic cancer. On Monday, she's going into hospice. So,
Hi, I'm Edie Unhappy. I'm an ally to every trans people that are here in the United States, and we are all in support of everyone who feels like they don't have the rights anymore. And I hope down the road we will see that we're still here. All right, that's about it. Thank you.
I'm Christy, and just a quick shout out to someone who helped me when I was, never go to a hardware store and buy too much stuff that'll fit in your car. Okay? Thank you, Marcia, who walked by and helped me get my stuff home. Thank you.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, never buy too much stuff. That's the one thing you learn when you're 72. If you go to the hardware store and buy a whole bunch of nails, they'll be sitting in your workroom for a long time.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I'm very concerned about all these people being laid off. It just re-traumatizes more and more people. Because when I was 10, my father got fired in it, and he never did recover from that. The rest of his life he was just bitter and angry. So I pray for all these people that have been laid off.
Thank you.
Oh, Mitako Yase. My name is Jerry Fogg, and I just wanted to give a good commercial here. The whole month of April, my artwork is being displayed at the Siouxland Library downtown. And I urge you to get there before that's closed.
No one else seems to be interested in sharing, and that's fine. I'm going to put one more stone in to symbolize the unstated joys and sorrows that some of us may have. And now we will have a brief moment of silence to think about some of the things that were said and to bear in our hearts the important ideas that we're thinking about. Now take a deep, cleansing breath through your nose. Blow it out through your mouth. And with it, blow your cares away. Now we will sing our second song, which is number 44, which we think we've not done before. So Carol will play through it once, and then we'll sing it together. Now, we will read number 524, and if you want, you can read with me, or just let me read by myself. It matters not. Earth Mother, Star Mother, you who are called by 1,000 names, may all remember we are cells in your body and dance together. You are the grain and the loaf that sustains us each day, and as you are patient with our struggles to learn, so shall we be patient with ourselves and each other. We are radiant light and sacred dark, the balance. You are the embrace that hardens and the freedom beyond fear. Within you we are born, we grow, live, and die. You bring circle of rebirth. Within us you dance forever. By Starhawk. Now it is my pleasure to welcome Lila Radicheva. Lila was originally from Bulgaria, where she studied and gained her education and degree. She came to the U.S. in 2008, spent 3 years on the West Coast, and moved to Sioux Falls when she got tired of the West Coast. So, welcome, Lilia.
Okay, is this the magical mic? Sound check, yes. Okay, perfect. You guys hear me? That's awesome. I'm gonna have to time myself because I tend to talk too much when I like the topic, so. Please feel welcome to stay for the circle after the talk because I'll be only able to touch the iceberg of the things that we can work on. So for any additional questions that we can go deeper, I welcome you for the circle with the coffee at 11, correct? Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay. So my name is Lilia. I have a Master of Science degree in molecular biology. My major is biochemistry, and my doctoral degree is in biophysics. I did a postdoctoral training in Sanford Research where I met Paul a long time ago for type 1 diabetes. And after that, I worked for Vera. I have a lot of experience in cancer research. After that, I branched out and I was a health and fitness professional for about 5 years, until I decided to go back to teaching, and I taught in a tribal college, in System Lopeton College, Natural Sciences, for about 3 semesters, and I really enjoyed it. And after that, I became a nutritional health coach, which I do right now, and I feel blessed to be able to share what I know with this congregation today. And the company I work for does that for free. So I want to put an emphasis on that. So if anybody is interested in following up on that, have more questions and want more personalized answers, I'm available for free. So if you're interested after that, I can give you my contact information. So without further ado, I just want to ask you guys, when we speak about food, what are your concerns? What are your major concerns? What are your expectations of this very brief talk? What do you want to learn? Like when you go to a store, what is your biggest challenge? The price, yes, I get it. Extra challenge to get nowadays, but anybody? Just, yeah, something? GMOs, yep, one thing, yeah? Yes, it is actually, unfortunately, many people have that, and it's a pandemic, like epidemic for a lot of people nowadays, and that's a direct consequence from what we have on our table nowadays. Great point. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sodium is an essential mineral that is extremely important for the functions of our muscles, the kidneys, and the heart, but nothing in extreme amounts is good for us, so everything in balance would be great. Yep. Okay, yep, well, potassium and sodium are extremely important. They work together. So it makes sense to have them in balance as well, like everything in nature has to be in balance. So yeah, if you have more questions on that, we can work together for free for about an hour after the lecture. Yeah. That's the biggest issue. So indeed, a lot of things that we find nowadays on the shelves are not exactly safe to eat. And what happens is that because after we eat them, we don't really have immediate consequences. We don't feel necessarily bad. We think it's okay, right? Well, it has really nice wrapping, looks really cool, tastes good. I have this energy coming in, like a huge rush of adrenaline and good, brain power. And after that, poof, there is a crash coming in. So maybe something is not that great in that type of food because it's not sustainable. Yep. So the bioengineered food is a double-edged sword. For some instances, it's something that it's inevitable. For other instances, it's not that great. So we're going to have a slide on GMOs. But yeah, great points. Thank you. You helped me to open up the presentation. So we were struggling in finding safe food to eat, right? We're struggling to find something that sustains us. It's not just our struggle, though. We're not healthy because our environment isn't healthy as well. The earth, the soil isn't healthy, cannot sustain us anymore. So one of the biggest issues is that we become what we eat because what we eat is being grown on unhealthy soil. So whatever we have in the soil becomes part of the plants. The plants we eat or the animals that eat those plants with pesticides have those pesticides concentrated in their bodies, and when we eat their meat, everything comes in our bodies as well, and in the longer run, not with immediate consequences, shortens our lifespan and basically makes us sick. Who wants to live sick? And the statistic shows that unfortunately, with every other generation, next generation, the lifespan gets shorter. For instance, I'm not sure how your parents are or grandparents, but I had a grandmother who passed away at the age of 102 2 years ago. All of my grandparents lived very long. But did they eat the same thing that we eat? Nope. Exactly. The pollution, the environment was different in the times when they grew up. Even if they were exposed to starvation, a lot of challenges, a lot of wars, where I'm from, they still managed to live healthy to later ages. And the prognosis is pretty dark from what I got educated on that. Unfortunately, the current generation, the way we live, the way we eat, and our lifestyle does not have chances to live longer than their parents, which is extremely sad. It makes us think what we can do about that so we can help our future generation, our own future, to make it through. It's very challenging. So, if we go back to 10,000 years ago, our ancestors were hunters and gatherers everywhere around the world. What they used to eat? Well, they eat leafy greens, they eat fruits, they eat seeds, they eat starchy roots, they eat meat, which was lean, they eat fish, sometimes honey. They were not overwhelmed by sugar because sugar was not readily available. Just a number, 22 grams of sugar were found to be consumed for a whole year by our ancestors, and nowadays we eat 22 grams, like half can of soda. And actually, the sugar is one of the biggest culprits. Sugar is everywhere. It creates inflammation. And it's the underlying cause of a lot of chronic disease that burdens us as humanity. Again, a long time ago, the time of the hunters and gatherers, The processed food wasn't here. And now, because of the convenience, we invented the comforting food, we invented the refined sugar, we invented the canned food. What is the difference between processed food and whole food? Quick example, apple, applesauce. Hot dog, real meat. Whole grains, cereal. What is cereal, people? What is cereal? Yeah? Right. So the more processed the food is, the less nutrient value for us it has. Because we lose a lot of the nutrients that we need throughout that processing. So one of the goals for us is to think about when we go into the store, do we buy packaged food which is processed, or we are focused on buying whole food? What is whole food? What is clean food? Okay, let's see how much time I have, because I really like to talk about that. And okay, I still have some time. Okay, just a disclaimer, the class is not intended to diagnose, mitigate, or cure any disease. It's for educational purposes only. And it's delivered for free because the company that I work for has this very altruistic mission to share free nutrition education in different forms. One form is the talk that I can give as a guest speaker. The other form is supporting the communities with in-kind donations, non-profit organizations, and others in need. And also offers free coaching sessions on nutrition that could be arranged with me for an hour, and they're unlimited. Okay, so how do we know if a certain food is not okay for our bodies? It's very simple, actually. Listen to your body. How your body reacts after you eat something. Have you ever noticed that after you eat something that is very yummy and looks good, you actually feel very tired? Have you experienced that? Yeah, I actually, when I moved from Europe to United States, I wasn't familiar with a lot of food and the way the food is being cooked here, so I actually started getting sick. I got a lot of, extra weight, and I didn't know why. I felt so tired, so fatigued, and the reason why was that I didn't have the access to, the vegetables and the herbs and the fruits that I'm used to eat growing up. And there was abundance of things you can buy from the stores, but they didn't taste like food. They taste like paper bit. or like, and you feel them like staying in your stomach for such a long time, and it felt so weird. So for a while I wasn't able to eat anything. It was like, oh, that's very, very, very strange and scary situation. Well, now that I know that there are organic, non-GMO, available food, there is also a way for everybody who has a backyard to start growing their own food and be independent. There is a lot of opportunities to be free, but back in the days it was very frustrating for me too, not to be able to eat what I'm used to and feel so literally like sick. So some people, two people are not the same, right? So I may not be able to process beans, but other people may be pretty happy with them. Some people have lactose intolerance, so they may discover that after consuming dairy, they feel sick, they have bloatiness, they have pain, sometimes constipation, or other type of irregularities. So listen to your body. Your body is going to tell you if certain food is good for you or not. And becoming aware of that is the first step to learn what is good and what is not good for you. Okay. So we're going to talk about 10 quick tips about how to survive the food jungle. And each and every tip could be developed for 30 minutes each. So I'm going to go as quick as possible. And please remember, if you have any questions, stay after the presentation so we can discuss them in depth. And I also have some additional materials to discuss and show to you. Okay. So, first thing, choose foods that are as close to how they appear in nature as possible. That means if something is in a package and looks really cool, maybe it's not that cool. Maybe it's good to go and buy the whole pumpkin, the whole buttersquash, the whole tomatoes. And the difference between eating fresh tomatoes and eating ketchup is huge. So stick to what is whole, or what is fresh, and preferably organic and non-GMO. And I like this expression a lot. If it came from a plant, eat it. If it was made in a plant, don't eat it. And the other joke that I really like about fast food, I know we live in a very fast-paced environment. There is a lot of demands from us, but please try to stay away from the fast food. I know it's redundant information, you probably know that. But the joke that I laugh about a lot about that, the fast food, is that whoever put the S in the fast food was a marketing genius. So yeah, let's not sacrifice our health for the profit of others. Think for your own health, make informed choices. So the other thing to be afraid of and aware of when you are buying, for instance, your bread from the grocery stores, the bread shouldn't last 2 years, you know. Usually when you make bread goes bad for 2-3 days to a week. Same with I don't know, let's say something that you cooked. So if it has prolonged shelf life, that means that certain preservatives are being added. And those preservatives not only affect the microorganisms that we won't grow there, like molds or other microorganisms that cause decay, but they also prevent your own microbiome from thriving in your body. And there will be health consequences from that as well. Okay, very easy thing. When you go to the store and you want to buy something, flip it. You need to read two things. One thing is the ingredients, and the other thing is the nutritional facts. Both of them will give you information on, are you buying something good or something that may actually be harmful? If you see a long list of things you cannot pronounce and read, or you need organic chemistry degree to understand what is in there, do not buy it. Most likely, it's not good for you. If you're buying yogurt, for instance, yogurt shouldn't have 15 ingredients. Yogurt is supposed to have milk and living cultures. That's all. If you see more things, especially sugar, maybe you need another brand. And one exception from that would be the vitamins and minerals that also have chemical names, but once you learn more about that, you'll be able to distinguish what is a preservative, what is artificial sweetener or artificial dye, something that's not good for you, and what is part of the micro elements or vitamins that are added there. The genetically modified organisms are something that is being widely used, and there is an accumulation of a lot of scientific data that for many reasons they are not good for our health, and especially for the fetal development in early childhood. There are long-term consequences from ingesting these chemicals, and there is advice to minimize the consumption of fruits or veggies or treated with pesticides foods. And what is treated with pesticides? Basically, the genetically modified produce. And unfortunately now, most of the crops is genetically modified. Soybeans are 91% GMO, corn 85% is GMO, and canola is 88% GMO. What is the way out of here? Focus on still consuming soy or corn, or canola, but let's at least make it non-GMO and organic so you avoid the consumption of pesticides. The other survival tip would be to choose naturally raised animal products. What does that mean? Well, there are two types of raising meat for consumption. One is the conventional way, and the other one is the free range, which is part of the regenerative farming practices, which I really hope to become widespread. The difference between the meat that is conventionally grown is that it's full of antibiotics and hormones, which changes the nutritional value as well. So when the animal is being chronically injected with antibiotics and growth hormones, those same chemicals affect our body the same way how they affected the animal body, because we're all mammals. So if you accumulate a lot of growth factors and you're already fully grown adult, those growth factors may make you grow in a direction that you don't want to grow. And also other bad things may happen. Those growth hormones may turn on some genes that shouldn't be turned on, and this may bring some growths, like cancer growths, for instance. So we don't really need that. The other difference between the organic free-range raised meat without antibiotics and hormones is that it has different nutritional value. So it's rich on omega-3, conjugated linoleic acid, more vitamin E, and glutathione. So if you have a chance to choose a grass-fed beef instead of conventionally raised, please look for that on the shelves. It's good for you. Okay, the other thing is involving planning. And unlike the environmental pollution factors, it's in our control. So one way to avoid impulsive shopping and buying things with a lot of sugar is to know what you want to buy before you go to the store. And plan buying things that serve you best. One way to help teach the next generation is to have them make those choices together with you, cook together, make salads together, make healthy breakfast together. And healthy breakfast is a whole other topic that I can talk for an hour. But prioritize quality over quantity. That's a very, very important thing. Eat seasonally. Back in the days, depending on where you grow up, you have 4 seasons or not, but you don't eat the same thing throughout the year. Like blueberries and raspberries will be gone eventually. You won't have figs the whole year. You won't have squash or zucchini the whole year. So to stay in alignment with the life and everything that surrounds us, we should stick to what our ancestors used to do. Live in alignment with all the rhythms of the nature. So eat, if you could, eat seasonal things, like grow things in your garden or buy clean organic things where they are available. A lot of cultures around the world make their own fermented food. Some of those foods could be, yogurt, kefir, miso, sauerkraut, kimchi, and it's very important to add that to the American diet because it helps promote the immune system health, mental health, hormonal health, and digestion. So it's really not hard to do. If you have questions or if you haven't done that, I can teach you how to make sauerkraut at home. It's really not a hard thing. Or even yogurt. Yogurt is amazing. Another survival tip, because our standard American diet is depleted with a lot of nutrients that we need, we recommend to check, of course, with your healthcare provider, but see what are your levels of vitamin D. Vitamin D is very important. It orchestrates a lot of functions in the body. Study shows that magnesium which controls over 300 biochemical reactions. 50% of the Americans are deficient on that as well. Fish oil is the classics, but it provides the flexibility in the cellular membranes. It has to be in balance with all the saturated fats. But omega-3 that comes from the fish oil are very, very important. So if you don't eat enough fish, please think about if you're supporting your cardiovascular system or not with omega-3s. Okay. Strive for balance. Nature is about balance. Everything is connected, everything is related. We forgot about that. But in order to be in balance, nutrition plays a big role in that. We become what we eat. That doesn't mean that you have to be like fanatical perfectionist and just eat extremely healthy all the time. It puts a lot of pressure, mental pressure, and we won't stick to that approach. If we do 80 to 20, so 80% we eat healthy and 20% we cheat here and there with 2 or 3 cookies or a brownie. This is the most successful formula for living in balance. Make realistic goals. If you want to quit on the soda, don't quit cold turkey. Try to eliminate the soda for, if you drink soda every day, start cutting off 1 or 2 drinks at a time until you are able to cut 30%, 50%, and decrease to hopefully to 0. There are also other substitutes that taste like soda but don't have that bad effects on the human health. Whenever it's possible, please stay active. Our bodies are beautiful and we need to put them in use. We can do gardening. It's really good for having our own organic produce in the backyard. It's a good exercise. It makes the blood circulate. It makes the heart pump more blood, nutrients and oxygen to all areas of the body. If you can walk 20 to 30 minutes a day, it's also great. Make those joints move. Make these nutrients get distributed also in the joint area. And I've been hearing a lot, I don't have time for that, I'm so busy. Well, if you're one of those people that spend 3 hours a day on Facebook or 5 hours watching TV, well, actually you do have a time. You just have to, check your priorities on what actually matters. And what matters is you. We matter. We have very, very small control over what comes from the news to us, and sometimes, more often than not, it's very upsetting. So in order to stay healthy and focused, we have to make ourselves priority. So do some self-love and self-care. For example, I wanted to put a stone here, but I was like, well, I'm going to take some time anyway. So just wanted to share that I found a very interesting way to survive difficult times by challenging myself to do something completely out of my comfort zone, which is playing a guitar, which happened to be very, 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 very good thing to do. It's an exercise on a different level. So I'm showing self-love, self-care, by experimenting with things that I haven't done before. And I am a type of experimenter, so I like doing stuff. Just like Carol. Carol started playing violin after many years of being piano teacher. So she probably relates to that feeling of excitement to do something new, something creative, something good for yourself, to be able to cope with challenging situations. So we do have a lot of resources, like books and other information, some of the information I brought with me. And this is basically the whole talk that I had for you today, and I think I'm close to 20 minutes, right? Okay, well, thank you so much for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you. I hope you learned something. If you have more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer during the talking circle. Thanks again.
Thank you, Lily. Very interesting talk, and, we have to focus on this as we are part of the web of life. What we eat influences us, and we need to keep that in mind. We've now come to the time of our service in which we ask that you contribute to support the work of this church. I will ask Carol to play the offertory now. Now I ask that you join me in saying the words that we use to receive this offering. We give these gifts freely. We receive these gifts gratefully. We dedicate these gifts to the work of our congregation, serving human wholeness, caring for our planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another. Our final hymn is number, it's 1008. It's in the, oh no, it's 108. Where's my hymnal? And now, the chalice is extinguished, but the light goes with us out into the world. And now we can all go out and run a marathon. So we will now have coffee and snacks downstairs. At about 11:20, please join us up here if you want to